Hello, Soulfire.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Chronicles of Chiron, the Lion, the Witch, and the Healer. My name is Christopher, the Astro Medium. This is
I am Jessica Tanselle, medium, a spiritual teacher and healer, and I'm excited to be here. How are you? I haven't talked to you this week. How's your week been?
my week has been very busy, lots of stuff going on. I actually took a day to myself, kind of.
Yeah,
So I am taking my own advice and trying to relax more and not be so good at everything. Oh, that sounded so arrogant. Being so trying to be so good at everything and just taking
totally.
a break and actually enjoy life. That's what I tried to do this week on top of getting a lot of shit done. How was your week?
I've had a busy couple of weeks, just a lot of transition happening, and I had a full moon ceremony last night. This week is that calm week for me where I'm doing things and getting shit done, but also relaxing, like realizing I don't have to do it all in one day. You know, I don't
Yeah.
have to do it all in one day. I don't have to worry about this until maybe Friday, so I'm trying to learn the balance because I'm like,
Yes.
get
It's
it all
funny you say
done now.
that because yesterday was the full moon in Libra, which is all about keeping the balance. So right
Right?
now we're all trying to balance something. See how that was showing up for me in that way and it's showing up for you in that way. And all centering, especially right now, just there's a sense of balance and calm that came from this full moon where others have been very agitating, very motivating. This one hit me very almost like reassurance, and it was a lot of warm energy and a lot of relaxation or just wanting to overindulge even. Oh my goodness, all this Venus energy right now is so much overindulgence happening. We're just wanting to enjoy life and take pleasure from everything. We're wanting the pleasure to heighten. We just want to feel good, and we're wanting to open our hearts more, and that's what's happening right now. Of course, this moon really set that off. But this moon, part of this moon that I want to talk about with you is Chiron. So for those of you who are not familiar and are just joining us, Chiron is an asteroid. He is the wounded healer in astrology. This is the energy that we look at to see your primal wound, your insecurities, your weaknesses, what you come in with, and how you can heal those in this lifetime. And the moon was directly opposite Sun, Venus, and Chiron, all conjunct to 8 degrees, exactly together, opposite 8 degrees moon in Libra, creating a full moon. It was a very healing moon. So for a lot of us, it just kind of took the bandage off of a wound that was now healed and is still raw, but can now be exposed, and it's we're good to go now. There's more reassurance from it. So there's a little bit more sense of calm. Whereas 6 months ago, the new moon in Libra, there was a buildup of stuff's coming up for a lot of us. So there are things that we're revisiting this time around. So Chiron is definitely part of that. So in this show, we love talking about different healing modalities and different ways of healing, and they just seem to go on and on and on. There's so many ways to heal yourself, like and to heal others. And a lot of the healing work that I do is very mental. And when I was going into this tonight, I knew that we were going to be talking about a topic or a subject that a lot of people may not understand, or they may have a mind like mine, which is very analytical or more data oriented or uh, proof oriented. So something like magic or something like that may not sit well or may not resonate, or we may close ourselves off to it at first. And that's what I want to explore tonight, is the magic, the healing powers of magic and the magic of healing. I mean, they could go both ways, but what we're talking about is Magick. So what's the K on there for? Do we know? Because every time I see you write it with a K, or you put a K on it, and I go, this must mean that it's more, I should take it more serious. This is witch magic. This is like folk
Witch
magic.
magic. Yes, it's
It's
just
folk magic. It works.
It works. I'm not
Would
playing
you put root work and voodoo into the same category of like, it may not have the same intention, but it works the same way?
Tell me what voodoo and what?
Root work. It's
Okay,
kind of,
I don't know root work.
okay, root
I
work.
know in my system root work, but I don't know root work.
Yeah, root work is like a type of Southern American
Similar.
non-island voodoo.
Yes. Okay.
It's like dirt and burying things, and I'm gonna tie this up and put it in here, and then she's never gonna bother you again. I'm gonna sever these cords using these different herbs, and I'm gonna bury them a certain way. And like here in Atlanta, I'm around a lot of witches. There's a lot of witches here in Atlanta, okay? And these are the kinds that tell me that I need to take my own hair and I need to put it inside of a tree, put a mirror facing it so that I shit like that. And they do this, and I watch them. I go into their offices, and they've got like little bowls with candles and someone's picture under it. Okay.
And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, on the Jessica Tanselle show, I told you I was prepared tonight. What? I was like, okay, this is what happens every week. Chris is like, I text him every week, we doing a show tonight? And he's like, yeah, you? I'm like, yeah, I'll be there. And he's like, I think we should talk about this. I'm like, okay. And so then I go, and so I'm starting and I'm doing my little things, getting things together, and I'll start a process, and then spirit takes over. And so I have a healing spell jar recipe that I channeled this evening for this. So I have all the ingredients here.
Very amazing, and we thank you for that. And we thank you, thank your guides and your higher self for allowing this facilitation of information to come through. I am so excited about this, and I am not trying to sound condescending. I'm just like, this is exactly what it's supposed to be. This was magical for me. I didn't really understand that was going to happen. And you know what? It was funny because I was talking about that bitch witch, and you ended up being that bitch tonight. I was like, oh, I'm sitting here dogging on these witches in Atlanta, and this girl is ready to go. You probably have things laying around, things sitting in windows, and I am all about that. I do resonate with that deep down. I have lineage with that. I know it. I have a lot of witch in me. But I can definitely tell you that as a mental person, I will come at it. I know why it works. So I do want to preface this before we go any further, because I respect you and I know this is real shit, that everyone vibrates, just like in astrology, we have fire, air, earth, and water. Everyone vibrates within different frequency ranges more. I have a lot of Gemini in my chart, so I do exist more in a mental plane, okay, where other people are more in their body, warrior types, physical beings down here on the earth, and they may resonate with things that work in that dimension more, where I might be able to manifest through my third eye in my mind, not because I'm higher or more evolved, but because that's just my system. Someone may resonate with elements of this earth, physical matter, herbs, dirt, rock, stone, crystals, and that might resonate with their system more and their energy. And so it will yield a similar result to someone who can also manifest things just through thought alone. But I do want to say that those watching who may be skeptical or may not understand things at first, you can see it from this mental perspective. There's a lot of proof to how both can be.
Well, what I call myself is an intuitive witch.
I know.
And like you, to where I use really my intention to create and manifest. That is what I use in my own magic. However, the practice of making a spell jar or of doing candle magic is really just adding extra intention. I would tell anyone, you do not have to have supplies to do magic.
That's right.
When you speak the negative or the positive, you are creating magic. That's intuitive magic.
So as we go throughout this video, would it be annoying if sometimes when you were saying things that I also went back and gave somewhat more of a vibrational or physics
No, go
way
right
of looking
ahead.
at it?
I
Just not to dispel it, but to back it up. Because I want other people to understand how this actually works. Like when you say you're creating a type of magic, you, even by your hand, you were showing me that they were creating some type of vibrating frequency that
yeah.
belonged to them. So it was their power.
Well, and there's a positive and there's a negative, even if it's with your own intention and what you're talking about for yourself.
Which we could go into the realms of Abraham Hicks and law of attraction and all of the vortex, all of that in this conversation as well, because that's also part of it. But some people will say, well, why the candles anyway? Well, just the same way that I don't need anything, I do believe in full moon and new moon and do ritualizing things. Rituals allow human beings to focus the energy more purely and intently. And it is the acting out of opening to something higher and then making it physical.
Right. And
So, and
I love
it's like
working.
you're creating a black hole or what do you call those secret hiding doors, trap doors? Fuck,
I have no
motherfucker.
words for this right now. I have none. But yet,
You
like,
know when there's a
let me
secret
help.
door in an old mansion in the library? A
Yes,
secret passageway. It's like a secret
like
passageway.
Narnia.
Whoa, we are just taking it all the way back around here. Okay, yes,
Okay,
exactly
the
like the
lion, the
neighborhood.
witch, and the healer.
Now that was a fucking portal. Let's get that thing straight. Okay, now I'm talking about a secret passageway, but a portal is better. It creates a portal straight into the physical dimensions through your energy field.
Well,
So I do believe it.
sure. Well, people are really nervous. So let me just say, people are nervous to hear like witches and magic. I feel like it is more mainstream than you realize because we all have magic. We all can use magic in different ways, but you don't have to use physical magic. You can use
Now,
some
would you say people are adverse to it in some way through religious reasons, usually,
religious
or
reasons.
just not understanding?
Just taught you things, not understanding, and you hear the negative. I hear
Right.
a lot of, well, I'm afraid to open something up. Well, the first thing I'm going
Right.
to do is
I hear that a lot.
cleanse your space. I've got Palo Santo. You can use sage. You can use whichever herbs that call to you because you want to be ethical about it and use the proper
Yes.
herbs. Okay.
Yes.
Very important.
Yes.
So I will cleanse my
Very
area
good. I was going to say something if you
daily.
didn't.
But really, I cleanse my home daily just with intention. I don't have to use the actual herb, although I like it. It smells good and it has antibacterial properties on sage.
Yes.
So clearing your space is really important, and then calling in your guides. Your guides are going to keep you safe. You can put a circle of salt around you for protection. I do not want to clean up salt. I feel like my guides got my back.
And I think
But
it's important that people know that witches, it was passed down that witches would create a circle of salt because the circle has a specific frequency of oneness, so that almost like it can't be penetrated from any side. But also the crystals, salt is a crystal. They were just working with other crystalline structures which could have created through their intention a very strong energy field that would manipulate their energy in some way. I know that sounds really out of a movie, but that's
oh,
probably,
I love that.
I
So
do
like,
believe
I love
witches
the
of a
one.
1,000 years ago and 800 years ago, they were more physical. They were not as developed as we are, as spiritually, I would say. They were definitely more focused in the physical dimensions. So their power really lied in those physical rituals and that acting out. But it was the same thing that gives power to the monks who practice their meditation constantly. So it just builds up that power.
It's a connection with oneness, that
Mhm.
connection with oneness is what's so important. And that's why your intention of positivity is important. I don't do dark magic. but I have full intention of love.
Yeah, a
So
lot of
if
people
you're going
just
to
have
ask
that
me about
fear
that,
because
I'm
it
going to
feels
say,
like it's something they can't control. That dark magic shit. It's like,
well, it's
gosh,
like
what if somebody did that to me?
you're calling in dark when you send out ill intention.
Absolutely, and that does exist, and that
But
exists a
I'm like,
lot
not,
here
and
in
then when I go,
Atlanta.
that's all I have to say about that.
There are a lot. I have worked in the metaphysical community here a lot, and I've worked with a lot of people in several of the metaphysical centers here in Atlanta. And there's a lot of wanting to control your life using candles, wanting to hurt someone else, wanting to get rid of someone's their girlfriend. There's a
Yeah.
lot of that going on, and I just feel like the law of attraction is what's responding to all of this. So you are going to manifest more of that in your life. So you use this just as a way to harness your natural innate power.
Yes. So I'm going to, like, for a spell jar, I would cleanse my space, but I would cleanse my jar.
Okay.
No.
I usually cleanse my little journal that I write in during my readings because I've just seen that over the years. I feel like it's gotten into me now.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then you just add your ingredients that you want to add for your specific spell. And typically it's for you. Because if you're doing a spell for someone else, you need their permission. If I'm doing healing
Absolutely.
for someone else, I need their permission.
Absolutely.
So this should be for you. So it should be really positive intent, really good intent. So doing a spell jar, you might have herbs, you might have oils. Most of them I have on hand. Now I do. I am odd and have quite a few oils, but most of the herbs I have on hand, like I can get right out of my cabinet.
Yeah.
Turmeric,
Yes.
which the turmeric is a natural healer in our body anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I would sprinkle in the turmeric and I would set the intention of what I wanted to heal. Okay. And the steps are, you want to cleanse the jar and write your intentions in after you've called in your guides, and then speak it as you're sprinkling in the turmeric. What is it that you're wanting to heal? Is it actually your heart? Or are we talking like inflammation in the body? And the turmeric is really good for that. Several of
Yes.
them, like the Himalayan salt, yes, it's a protector, but it also clears the aura. It clears your energy. So it's going to help clear in a healing way for your body. And so you're setting that and saying that, like, cleanse my energy, cleanse my body.
Yes.
What they're just telling me too is it's going to also help the bloodstream. But I also think that that's why they bring in the garlic. The garlic removes negativity and removes disease from the body. So then you're going to slip all that in the jar. Lavender oil, which is very protective but very calming, and you would just do a few drops while you set the intention for calmness while moving through the frustrations of healing. You've asked for the disease or the illness to be released. And then also, this chamomile is really good for sleep. And people, when you're going through healing and you're having aching, whether it's your heart, the chamomile helps calm it. And actually putting it in a bath salt, a lot of these I'll just put in a bath salt and throw it in my bath, so it doesn't have to be a jar. But when you're bringing in candle magic, you can use your candle by color. This one was what was called for this healing jar, and I'll put the spell in the comments later so you have it, like all the pieces.
Very good.
My guide Hecate called for purple for the soul, for this healing jar. Some of you are healing hearts, some of you are healing illnesses, and I will put the ingredients in there and the meaning for them. Give me about 24 hours to get it in there. So come back and look for that. But you want to put your intention behind it. And I don't know, there's so many of us healing the heart that when you write
Yes.
your intention, I am fulfilled in life. My heart is healed. My body feels good. You're going to write those things down and you're going to fold it on a paper and put it in your jar with all the intention. And then I recommend just taking your energy and blowing it into the jar. Like, I just have always been guided to do that. And then seal it with the candle wax.
Oh.
And you put it on your altar for the month. Leave it there.
Yes.
And
You know what this reminds me of? It is definitely vibrational magic. It's using the idea of herbs, the idea of the candle, sealing something and making it solid. It's all representational of your intention, of you setting in a very strong intention that wasn't weak in its signal. And it reminds me of all the different activities that Abraham Hicks have at the back of their book.
Oh, yeah.
Ask and it is given, like this chest that my shit's up here on. This chest I have is this, looks like a treasure chest, and you open it and whatever you put in it is supposed to come true, and you have to believe it or you can't put it in there. Because that's the thing I find with people using magic, is when I had dealt with people asking me about these things, because I know about it. I know very much how it works. I'm around people, so I'm able to answer questions for people when I'm at a psychic fair or at one of these metaphysical centers. And a lot of them are there almost like, okay, I'm here to try this. I hope it works. Like, this isn't working, that's working. But they're acting like it's a product they're buying off a shelf, or like, I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to burn this magic. I need more money.
Well, it
And
comes
it's kind of like, hold on,
to,
you have to actually really feel this. You have to be passionate about it, and you have to know it's going to happen.
well, and that comes back down to the law of attraction, and what you focus on expands. So if you're focused on the positivity, and I believe I am healed, it's a process. It's not overnight in a snap. It's like I am then working towards what that healing looks like. It's not
Yes.
an overnight fix. It is a process, but what you focus on attracts. So if you choose to focus on, well, this ain't working.
So what is this spell that you just showed everybody? What is its intention?
So this
To bring healing?
is a healing jar.
I see it.
It has lavender oil, garlic, Himalayan salt, turmeric, and then you actually want to get a chakra for the stone. I'm sorry, let me say that again. A stone that's based on the color chakra of where this healing is that you want to take place. So
Yeah, like green or blue.
right. So if it's sacral, like an amber or carnelian, fruit, go red. And so pick your stone that calls to you and hold it in your hand and put your intention in it. And then you also add chamomile and your paper with your intention that you've written on it. It might be a few things that you're healing. And it is okay if it's one stone and not all the stones, because you feel like it lines up with all your chakras. If you feel like it's mainly sexuality or relationship and partnership, go with the sacral. But if you're doing the heart, find a green. And what I just heard was green aventurine. So, use that stone. Pour all the intention with your mind as you're putting the herbs in, as you're putting the oil in. You're saying each mantra that maybe you have written on your paper. That's cool. That works. Then blow the energy in it, close the jar, seal it. It doesn't matter what the jar looks like. This is like leftover, I don't know, olives or garlic or something crazy in this jar, and I've cleansed it, I mean,
Yes.
like physically, yes, but I have not put everything in here, but I thought about this as I was doing this, because this is a weird jar. And I was like, that's a weird jar. How am I going to seal that jar? And I just would drip around the edge and just seal where the seal is on this one.
Yeah, taking your time to do it, all of that is focusing more of that intentional energy in on something. And it just has a stronger current to begin with, so it's able to build more momentum to actually manifest. So this healing is more likely to take place. And we are self-healers in many ways. This is a way of self-healing. What will happen in the process, there's a lot of things we want and use magic for, and before we can actually get to them, there's something that has to come up to heal first. So it's like, there's a lot that goes into all of this, because some people would see, well, why do I need to go see a healer? Or why anything if I can just heal myself? Well, there's levels to what needs to be healed. There may be healers that are going into astral planes healing things. There may be psychologists who are specifically focused on getting neural pathways rewired, which is healing as well. So through just understanding and coming to new conclusions. But this really reminds me of the work of Joe Dispenza and his You Are the Placebo Effect and Becoming Supernatural. That is amazing work about retraining the brain and basically just proving that belief will alter the reality out there. And he's basically talking about the way in which magic works, because sometimes we think we can just get our conscious mind, oh, we'll just start manifesting more, we'll just start meditating more, we'll just start doing this. Well, there's different levels to that, and the magic makes you incorporate it, kind of like tapping. You're programming it into your being, the ritual of it. Like I have full moon and new moon rituals on my Instagram that I've done things like that before, and I could feel the difference, or it felt like I was using the energy, so that I was actually using what was available in some way that would bring about a better good. And that's what magic is doing anyway.
I love the ritual work and the ceremony work, and I feel
me too.
I feel that even more in just even in the circles that I hold and in the ceremonies that I hold, just the ritual piece of it and the coming together in community is beautiful.
Yes, absolutely. It's more power.
It's my favorite.
Me too.
Doing magic together and with intention.
Mm-hmm.
With intention. We're not just throwing things around, but really focusing on what we need. Right here, you go.
And even if it's not there now, the intention that was set is strong. That means it will manifest at some point when it's allowed.
And what I would say for those of you starting out, for baby witches out there, and I mean that with love, not at all demeaning, like, start with changing your words. Like, that's the best magic you could start with, is like, instead of saying I can't do that or I don't have, when you find those words, swap them and flip them for I have all the funds I need plus more in my bank account, and dance with it a little bit and like raise the vibration with it.
Very good point.
Don't have to this, actually I'm open to receiving, universe, I'm ready. So that, if you're starting anywhere, seriously start there. That is magic.
Because I think you do need to be pure in your intent when you're performing these types of spells, because they are just physicalizing a vibration, and you better make sure that everything you put, if you really want something purely, you got to put it in there purely, because there's a lot of things we want that we have a lot of mixed signals about.
What I just got was,
and so we receive mixed results.
If it has to, what I just heard was, if this, if what you're needing help with has to do with another person, you ask for yourself to gain clarity.
Very good. Yes. And the witches here in Atlanta are not doing that. A lot of them are, but there's a lot of the older ones, because there are covens here. Okay, baby. There are covens. There's like Ravenswood, Wytch. If they ever see this, oh no, we're gonna have to cut this out of the video. Because if that coven ever gets a hold of me.
Cut that out of this video already. Okay, cancel, delete.
Oh yeah, we're live. Oh no.
That's the cut point.
But seriously, I promise you.
Well, what we just said was, don't mess around with witches. But also, you should be doing good magic and sending.
And I'm pretty sure Ravenswood is they're good witches. It's Wicca and stuff like that.
You just said names.
What do you mean?
You telling all about the witches?
Oh yeah, you're not supposed to do that. You know. Oh, okay. That's right.
What are you doing?
That's right. I'm not going to say any more about the witches.
We're canceling that part. Okay, here we go. Ready? We're going to start again. Okay, shake it off. Look,
okay.
Let me get the sage. Y'all, this is what happens when you have real conversations. You end up saging. You think we don't do this in our real conversations in real life? We're like, oh shit, sage. Why is the sage not here? Well, that says something, doesn't it? Okay, well, that's magic, you all.
Okay, well.
Things happen, isn't that
like,
wild? I love it.
This has been a very fun eventful night with you. I can definitely say that it has been magical. And I really have nothing else to say. I have nothing else to ask. I am just very clear on what it is that we talked about. And I definitely feel like I have not been doing magic enough.
When I have issues with a person and I have had to cut some cords, I send, and this was something given to me by another witch, was I send pink bubble gum on them. And it's a loving energy, pink is, but it's also asking that they forget us, me. Forget about me and let me forget about you. Let's cut this cord again. So
I'll never forget when a witch here in Atlanta told me that she couldn't get her husband's ex-wife to stay away from them and stop bothering them, and they had done they were doing all kinds of spells, and then she said she finally got it. She said, I took her picture, burned a candle. There was a few other things. Took her picture, put it here, and then put a mirror on top of it, burned a candle on top of that, and then she said, see what I did? I turned her everything that she wanted to give to us would go back, or all her attention would go back to her, and she would have to focus on her. And she said, you know what she did? She found somebody and got married 6 months later. And I was like, I don't know. That's that old school kind of witching going on.
that is old school. And I'm not saying it's good or bad. I think it would depend on the intention.
Her intention was just to be left alone, but
do that with energy. With energy. I am an energy witch. So I feel like that, yes, you can do that spell, but really you could be like, let me just send them this energy that they're going to forget all about us and we can all move on.
yeah, because that type of magic makes me feel like I don't have power. So I have to invoke some kind of power that isn't within me because I can't get this to stop, instead of like in law of attraction teachings, or just knowing that your thoughts create your reality. Your attention to her magnifies her. And I get that sometimes it's there. And so they're there. And so your attention gets given there, but it isn't the way in which it was done. It did feel to me like we needed to control something instead of allow something.
Allowing and just energetically, like when I think of someone, I'm connecting back into their energy, or when they think about me, they're connecting back into mine. So I have to cut it on my side just as well and
Right.
send it back and send that bubble gum with it to keep it over there.
Yeah, I get it. Sticky.
Over there.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, very good. This has been really fun. I think it definitely makes me realize there's going to be more things we're going to talk about that heal and offer, and that people can use as self-healing, because there are a lot of people who are going to watch this who do resonate with being a witch, or always drawn to what that meant. And it was really just a strong, powerful woman. That's really what I was drawn to it about when I was a kid. But witches have always been a part of my life. And the idea of it being magic to manifest more good and evolution in your life, it's like, oh, it's the earthy version of the galactic stuff that I'm all into, right? The quantum physics.
Yes.
So it's all, but then I realize, oh, it's the same.
I tease the kids that I'm an airbender. They ask.
Oh yeah, all that. Mm-hmm.
I love the elements. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm good. You have anything else you want to add about this?
No, I feel good. I think Spirit jumped in a few times to help us along the way with some tips. I'm grateful for that. This was fun.
Oh, for sure.
Letting me talk magic.
Yes, thank you for being such an expert and giving us a very open view to it's very simple and very honest in its intention. So thank you for dispelling any myths about witchcraft. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for the Chronicles of Chiron, the Lion, the Witch, and the Healer. We will see you all next week here on Soulfire. We have a lot going on this week. Jessica, what do you have going on?
Well, this week, Chrystopher and I have an Evening with Spirit, which is a mediumship event that is happening Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That will be through Zoom. You can register for that at thejessicatanselle.com // events. It's on the front page. Just scroll down. You'll be able to find it.
Yes.
And yeah, that's the big thing I have this week.
Well, I am the in-house intuitive astrologer for Eclipse over Roswell here in Atlanta. I teach astrology class every Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The class is $10. This is an all levels welcome type of class. You can pre-register if you go to eclipseoverroswell.com. You can find the registration page for that. And also, if you are on my Instagram, that is at the.astromedium. You should be following me on Instagram, and you should also go to my link in bio, contact in bio, whatever. Go there. There is a direct link to the sign up page for our mediumship event, our Evening with Spirit, which is this Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So that's what I have going on this week. So anything else?
You know where to find me.
All right. Yes, you know where to find us, everyone. Thank you so much. We will see you all next week here at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will also be here on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the weekly cosmic forecast. Be there or be square.
See you guys later. We'll see you next week.
Good night.